kinds of idiots, absolute idiots, and not just idiots, but malevolent idiots. Like President Obama. He's an absolute malevolent idiot. Vice President Biden. He's an absolute stupid idiot. I could go down the list. It's amazing. Tim Kaine, an absolute malicious, malignant person that should go back to ministry and work somewhere in Honduras or somewhere like that, trying to find Jesus and find him before he dies, because there's a good side inside of him, but there's a very visible wicked person who's governing at least 50% of his personality. I'm sure everybody that's watched this thing knows what I'm talking about. Which, by the way, you ever notice how effeminate people are the meanest, really the cruelest, the most hateful? I think you'll notice it from now on. Tim Kaine is an example of that. It's like they overshoot trying to offset the dark side of themselves. They overshoot in the other direction. They have little affects of the wrist and fingers and little twist of the mouth and all that. Where does it come from? What part of the mind? Well, I don't know either. But I know that there's a desire in certain kinds of people, like Hillary Clinton, to contest and fight against what is genuinely good and respectable. They'll do anything. The simplest is to do this children bit. It's so obvious to anybody that's got a brain. Children bit. The other thing is the woman bit. Another easy thing to be in favor of. Women. Oh, and then these artificial black right groups. Black Lives Matter. What a pathetic organization. It doesn't represent anything in that's truly human in its nature. I doubt you would see anything like this in any part of the world, including Africa. It's stimulated artificially, and it's breaking down our respect for our black brothers. Soros and those people must have some amusement at how they're mocking the lower class of blacks. If those blacks really knew how they were being used, they would turn all their anger against Soros. Maybe they'd take the $50 and the marijuana cigarette that they are offered to ride and collect together to go down the street, claiming that somebody killed somebody and they know all about it. Therefore, they can tear up the place. Marijuana cigarette, or maybe a little crack, or whatever it is. I doubt marijuana is really involved. I bet it's a heavier drug, maybe pills. A pill, a lot of pills maybe, and some money. 20s, 10s and 20s, how's that? Meat and dole out. By whom? Oh, how was that money made? That money was made by making money. Money by making money. using money to make money. In other words, there was no labor. No. It was all a trick. That gives so much extra money you can do anything you want to in our society. Yeah, you make money. You got enough money to make money on the money that you have. You participate in the slavery. Yeah. The slavery of the people that are stupid enough to get in debt. And those might be all of the blacks, if we really kept the arithmetic, accounting. But you see, a scammer like Clinton, the whole idea is that they were in awe, absolutely first class scammers. America has produced its first, hey doggy, absolute first-class sociopathic couple. This is one of the great contributions that have come out of the migration of misfits that left Europe and came to America. If you traced it back, you would find, just like in Obama's case, there's a genetic history to these sociopaths.
Slomo!
Hey, doggy! And if all that history was written where we could get a hold of it, there'd be a whole line of very, very successful sociopaths down Clinton's genetic line, and there'd be a similar number down Hillary's line. There's so many illegitimate births these days, and particularly with people like that, it's almost impossible to follow the genetic line. But just assume that there was a time in Germany, and another time or two in Italy, and a whole bunch of times in Spain, that the people had had enough of that, and they did everything they could to put a stop to it. I think that's what Trump's doing. Now, if you're one of the evil villains, you're going to think I'm nuts. Well, I don't know what, but I've been on both sides of this thing, okay, just like Trump. If you've been on both sides, you know the ropes, okay? You know the ropes. And that, my friend, is something that you learn after you're 45 or 50 years old. And when you do learn it, if you stay with it, as Bill Clinton did, or George Bush, or Cheney, or Hillary, Podesta, any of those older people like that, you stay with the dark side after you get to be old enough to know you're on the dark side, and God have mercy on you, assuming there is a God. But if there's not, I think if we followed your medical histories, we'd find out that you're going to be suffering quite a bit before it's all over, unless you take the easy way out, which is suicide. And those that are true believers, you're really Freemasons that are really convinced that you're right about all this, atheist, well, suicide's nothing to you, is it? You go into oblivion, how could there be a problem there? So you can be wicked right up to the last moment. Anyway, we'll get back more to the plot next time. It's a plot involving a wicked woman, Hillary Clinton, and an innocent, very nice person, Slomo, and a country, America.